It's fucking gay.
It's like Lil B. Actually, it's just like Tupac used to wear his bandanas with the two little bits hanging down.
I think you would die in the desert.
Yeah.
I think Andrew would survive in the desert.
I could survive in anything, mate. I could survive in the desert. If I landed on a planet that was purely made out of, like, desserts, I would survive.
I wouldn't, because some desserts are fruit-based and fruit's gay.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the ChatterBox podcast. I'm Optimus Prime.
Okay.
I'm Starscream.
Yeah, I'm Greg. I'm just going with that.
I can't think of a name, I'm still Ross.
Oh god, you never watched.
You're gonna start that again?
No,
No,
it's funny.
You're Andrew Sim.
No, I'm Andrew, but I am Optimus Prime. In this
Maybe a
situation.
bit, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Neil Patterson.
Still Ross.
Still Ras.
Still Greg over here.
We
But
used
if
to
I had
introduce
to be,
ourselves twice.
if I had to be a transformer, I would be Powerglide.
Who the fuck is
Does he turn into a hang glider?
He turns into an airplane.
Oh.
He doesn't have
Imagine one that turned into a hang glider.
That'd be
Doesn't
pretty cool.
really.
What if one of them
represent
turned into a
his,
microlight? Like, how shit would he be? Nobody would want to speak to him. They're like, oh, here comes Craig. And they're like, oh, just wait up. And they were like, no, let's fucking roll
To be
out.
fair, the original Megatron turned into a gun, so he was pretty useless unless someone actually was like, hey, Megatron, fire me. It's just like, transform.
Well, just like what turns into a gun falls over and it's like, Darkbeam, pick me up and fire me!
Okay,
Oh,
crossing
this
a-
was really bad.
This is great
This was
crossing a
bad
line.
idea.
In our relationship, I'd have to fire you.
So anyway, off the topic of naming ourselves after
Transformers.
what have people been doing this week?
Transformers, anally.
Well, maybe Ross could go into detail about the Skyrim mods, which Daniel kind of skimmed over last week very poorly.
Right.
Also, shout out to Daniel for being a faggot.
Daniel's a queer. He shouldn't have been allowed to talk about the mods. I went to his house and I got him all the mod manager, and I showed him where they were, and I downloaded them, and I told him which ones to download, and he shit at Skyrim anyway. Like, he was fucking bollocks at it, and he wouldn't even.
You're gonna need to show me where you got the torrent for it, because I'm gonna download it as well.
Torrent, yeah, I can show you.
Because I'm gonna get some.
Wait,
I'm
wait,
not gonna
not
add
the
heaps of
torrent.
mods.
I'm gonna show you where you can buy it.
No,
legally.
No. Oh right, yeah. Obviously,
For monies.
legally buying it because
Support the system.
I already bought it. I can do it anyway.
Yeah, that was my thing. I bought it on the Xbox, and I was like, you've got my money.
Yeah, you've already got it.
I mean, I pre-ordered and everything, so somebody got my $5 as well. Like,
Who?
I don't
Who
know,
got that
fucking
$5?
The game
Not
shop.
Bethesda.
Not Bethesda.
No, they didn't
No.
deserve it.
Is it Bethesda?
Yeah, it's Bethesda.
Yes, yeah.
Do they get? No, it just
Uh,
goes.
It's
to
not the
shop.
pre-orders.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, about the mods, yeah. So I downloaded more mods for my thing. I downloaded. So like, yeah, I was doing my whole warrior priest guy, and then I was like, right, I'm gonna make a new person because I find it very hard to stay focused on anything for just any amount of time. So I started a new person, and I was like, right, gonna go high elf mage wifey, gonna do magic and shit, because that's my thing. Like, women aren't allowed to do any of the cool stuff. Like, if you've got an archer, a sneaky person, or a mage, that's a woman. Anything else, that's a
Well,
man.
is there mods where you can get more? Is
Misogyny.
there mods where you can get more companions?
Oh yeah,
I've downloaded Marwyn and Shikun, and Marwyn's just some Nard wifey. And
No, no.
Shikun's like
How many? You told me you could have. How many?
Oh no, yeah, I have the follower overhaul. I can get 15 companions all at once, and I have
That's
this.
pretty cool.
I have this thing called. I don't know if convenient horses is what actually does the thing, but I think that's where you got the horse call from. Basically, you get this thing called the horse call that you can buy, and it's a big horny thing, and he blows into it and goes. "Arr."
It's
But,
basically
like,
like
And they all just like.
yeah, and you've got your
Assemble.
when you have your followers with you, if you blow the horn, if you like turn the camera around and look at yourself when you're doing it, all your followers like stand behind you and blow their own horn, and then all the horses sort of like, the summoning thing where like it looks purple.
Yeah.
All the horses appear and they're all like in formation, and then everyone gets on their horses all at the same time, and then they all like rear back and go, "Rrr," and then everyone starts following you.
That's pretty cool.
Like, I fucking walk about with a little army of bitches behind me because all my men died.
I'm not gonna add too many mods. I just want some of the cool ones that you
I
showed,
have,
and I want
like-
like the better graphics.
I have like nearly 100, and my
Better water
Skyrim
effects.
crashes
Yeah.
every like fucking 5-10 minutes. It's so bad.
It's
But
like-
I got something.
I want better towns as well, where it adds extra. It's a mod that adds extra districts to the towns. So
I would-
I've not seen
I
so
would
like
mostly just-
Whiterun's bigger and all that.
I would
kind of
mostly
stuff.
just use like mods to fix what's wrong with the game. There's certain instances where like a character will like die before I've even met them, some stupid stuff like that.
Mm.
I really like to resurrect them.
I've got like all that stuff, but when I was making this mage person, that reminds me, I kept meaning to do that. There's this really cool mod I found where it's like, you know, like Harry Potter or whatever, when he's like fucking wand and the spells hitting midair and it's all like, you can do that if you've got two mages fighting and they're firing like the flame gout at each other, or like one's firing flame, one's firing electricity. It does that and it hits in the middle and the camera thing like moves out and they like start blasting each other, and whoever's like more powerful like will get hit by it and it'll do like fuck tons of damage and it'll like blast you backwards. And I was like,
That sounds cool.
but
That's an awesome.
yeah, I got this weird thing though called UNP, like unpretend bodies, because for the mage, like, cause you know all you get in Skyrim is those mage cloaks that say like 12% destruction thing plus 50% magic regen. Well, I wanted to just get like clothes, and there's heaps of mods for clothes and stuff. So I was like, I'll get mods, I'll get some cool looking clothes and stuff, and I'll just enchant it and make it better. But then some of these clothes I wanted, it said you had to have either UNP or CBBE, and the CBBE is like Caliente's big bottom edition, and I did not want that because I didn't want a bunch of pin-up looking wifeys wandering about because I thought that was weird. So I went for UNP and went for the slim edition, which was basically everyone's either, they sort of range from like underdeveloped to normal people, and it was better than the other option, which was normal people to like extortionately breasted or whatever. So
Cool.
no, the thing is not.
I see you had the willpower to like go the other way, but I imagine there'd be many people.
Yeah, no, a lot of people like. I think CBBE is more popular, but like.
I can maybe see why. Yeah.
The kind of weird thing is though, it removes underwear. Like, see if you take your person's clothes off, they're just fucking walking about naked, except for the men.
Well,
the men get like a big loincloth thing. But
why would you take their clothes off just for people who don't quite understand the concept of like putting different armors on?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You would take their clothes off to put different armors on.
It's not just like
I got the race menu, which is like another mod, which when you're making your guy, you can like, it does so many more things. You can like change. I think I've seen a screenshot where you could change the size of their earlobe maybe. But I
have seen like there's better faces, like it rounds the faces off so they're not so cubed.
Yeah,
It
I've got that. The character,
like the pixels a lot.
I think it's
the
called
dimensions a lot bigger because they're like tiny and really pixelated.
Xenius character
Yeah.
enhancer. I have that. That like fixed all the things that like. I mean, I don't know. There's apparently a problem with like female people's feet. It like fixes those and it thingies their faces, and it like gets rid of the
Makes them look
the
a
bit
bit
on
nicer,
the neck where like the body and the neck look different. It like fixes that. But
I'm looking forward to next Bethesda game, because usually, like when mods like this come out, they like take ideas from the best ones and put it into their net. Like every time WoW's got an expansion now, one of the big mods gets put out of business, and you kind of feel bad for like the little like studios that make the mods, because it's like Blizzard have just turned around and been like, "Yup, nobody needs you anymore." Because Quest Helper was like a huge mod on WoW, so it would be like, "Oh, you need to go here to do this quest," and now the game just tells you to do that.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the news about Elder Scrolls Online coming to Xbox One and PS4. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, on the subject of that, there's like Bethesda is trying to fight like Microsoft over the issue of having to pay for Xbox Live and then having to pay for the service of Elder Scrolls. They want to cut out one of those, but they're not. It looks like they're not going to be able to cut out. Like, Microsoft isn't going to budge on paying for gold.
Yeah.
Well, if you have it installed on your PC and you have it for Xbox, could you just use your account on both? Like log into it.
Yeah, you
through
should
both?
probably be able to, because it's the same account.
Yeah.
It depends. Like, what if I'm not too sure. Like, what if it goes onto Steam instead of like the Xbox Live? Or am I like completely misinterpreting?
I don't know. I just.
Not too. Yeah, we haven't got much details on it.
No.
So,
No.
But it will be
However,
pretty cool that you can play it on console
currently-
like that.
I didn't even know this until this week, but the 25th of August, this guy posted on the game section of 4chan about the next WoW expansion, and every time this happens since Burning Crusade, it's been right. And it's been like just before BlizzCon, and everybody thinks it's just somebody in Blizzard who's just like, lol, I'll just post what the information is. And it's currently called The Dark Below. And it's going to raise the level cap to 100 from 90, which makes me think it's going to be the last expansion. Because I thought they would have done 90 to 95, then 95 to 100. I think 100 is where they'll stop.
You
Like
can keep going, though. There's nothing that.
Yeah,
No, I know, but
They're
I
losing
just-
subscribers.
a lot of yeah. I remember when Wrath came out, they were at their high point of like 14 million, and now it's down to like 12 million or something.
It's still a lot.
I know it's a lot, but it's also a lot of loss.
2 million people gone.
Yeah, and yeah, so apparently it's going to be like take place underground and stuff, like all these new underground areas. It just sounds really cool. Like there's going to be like mounts that are spiders, so you can climb up on walls and things like that. And like there'll be like
So basically, like Spider Pig, you know.
but apparently, like, WoW, like, Blizzard have been saying they're going to put in new race models for ages, you know, like, to make them look better. Because if you've played WoW, which Ross and Neil
The
have,
graphics and
the Worgen
Oh,
goblins, and pandas look so much better.
yeah, and the original things
Like, and
look
the
really
original races just look awful, just like completely awful, because they have not been updated since vanilla.
shitty. Mhm.
But apparently they're doing that, and then they're working on new race models, and they're
Well, that's the thing. It would seem silly for them to work on new race models and update the graphics on the older things if they're not going to continue and this is the last expansion.
yeah. Well, they're gonna do that, and they're apparently they're working on sub races. So like, if you went into Goblin, it'd be like, oh, do you want to play normal Goblin, or there's this kind of Goblin, or like dwarves.
Hobgoblin.
There's like there's different kinds of dwarves.
Oh,
like
like stone dwarves.
there's the dwarves. There's the dwarves who've got like the dark skin, you know, the dark irons.
Mhm.
And there's the ones that are like icy people, and then humans. There's obviously a different kind of and then the trolls are like a big one, and then there's the orcs. I've got the Meghar orcs that are like brown. Like Garrosh is one of them. Like their war chief is a Meghar orc. It just sounds cool, but apparently this guy says that they're not going to be in with the expansion. That they'd probably be released later on, but hopefully that's not right. But there won't be any new races or new classes this time apparently.
Sure.
But we'll just have to wait for BlizzCon, but I genuinely think they're going to announce their new game at
When is
BlizzCon this year as
BlizzCon?
well. Just next month, I think, or this month, I can't really remember.
Well, if they do end up like that being the last expansion, it would make sense for them to start up a new game.
Yeah, well, they've been working on something called Titanfall for ages. But
Oh, yeah,
No, not
yeah.
Titanfall. Project Titan is what it's
Yeah.
called, but nobody
I've
knows what it
talked
is.
about that before.
They're like, all they did was they like copyrighted the name Project Titan, but nobody actually knows what it is.
I think it's gonna be like one of those things like where they didn't name the. You know how you get like a project.
Yeah, what
But
like
they like.
well, like Connect when it was called Project Natal. Remember?
Yeah, kind of like that, but like, cause like, and this game might have nothing to do with Titans or anything.
Well,
Like, they might
Titans,
just be called
Titans
it
are a
because it's-
massive part of World of Warcraft, though, remember. The lore, the Titans created the world. They created the universe and everything.
Mhm.
But I think it'll be like a new MMO. I think they'll be launching a new MMO.
They're proving they can make other things because they made StarCraft.
Yeah. StarCraft, they make 3 amazing franchises. 3 well-known
Wow.
and amazing,
Diablo.
like Warcraft, Diablo and StarCraft, they're all seen as like the top of each of their different categories of game. Like StarCraft's like seen as like the best of the RTSs, I think it is, and then
yeah.
Diablo is the best top-down RPG,
Yeah.
and then
See,
WoW
I've
is
never
the
been a
best.
fan of
WoW is
Diablo.
the best MMO.
Mhm.
People can argue over it all they want, but there's a reason it's far more successful than every other one.
Yeah.
Like I think the next closest one doesn't even have half its subscribers.
So
What's
what
the
do you
next
what do you
closest
think
one?
the next one would be?
I think it's Guild Wars that have got it.
Yeah, Jordan likes Guild Wars.
Right.
I always like the appeal of like Eve, but that's
Eve's really complicated.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you need to be proper committed to play that game.
and also like the player base can screw you over, and the fact that the actual like community support members
Mhm.
like they can't really lend you a helping hand after you go out of a certain zone.
Yeah.
So I think that's what pissed me off because I know how like actual bunch of addicted people are.
I started.
Yeah.
I've
It really
reread.
shows you.
I've reread and caught up with this web comic series called Crossed. I Wish You Were Here. It's really good. Like, you can get the normal Crossed comics like in stores and stuff, but these ones are web.
What's that about?
It's like this disease that spread. I don't know if its origins have ever been revealed, but it just puts like this cross of like boils on people's faces. And it turns them crazy. They just want to like kill and like rape and stuff like that. And it's like these survivors who live up in a little island in Orkney and like them trying to survive and stuff.
Yeah.
And then this guy like spots one of them that he used to know, like the crossed and stuff, but she
Yeah.
seems actually like intelligent, whereas the other ones are just like mental. It's a really good comic though. It's really bleak.
There's always like something like that, Phil. There's always like, well, I suppose it is a cliche, but you can't expect it. There's always like someone, and be it a zombie or a pandemic kind of like genre. There's always someone who's immune. Someone who has.
Yeah, but you can't really write a story without a cliche anymore. Like
no.
it's all kind of been done.
Cliches
it has to be like something that's been done before.
Cliches are good if they're used in the right way. Because people like cliches. There's a reason they're cliches.
Also, I'm going to start watching Game of Thrones season 3 this week because I've not actually seen any of it yet.
When's season 4 start?
April.
Which one are you
It's
guys
been-
on?
it's
ages
been
away.
starting production. They've been casting people.
Yeah,
Is it you that has the books?
I
Yeah,
have all
I'll
the
have
books.
Andrew has all the
Can you
books
give
as
me
well.
the second book?
But yeah, I'm the only one that has the map book though.
Cheers.
Yeah, I really want that. I also really want the world of Westeros book when it comes out.
Mm.
It's like a massive encyclopedia they're working on, written from the point of view of like one of the maesters, and like it's gonna be like everything about the universe, like everything you could want to know, like lore about giants and where they came from, and like old civilizations and stuff.
I do like the world of Westeros.
Yeah.
Well, the
Oh,
world,
you don't really
but
know
like
the word- what the
no,
world
I
is,
mean
yeah.
as in like just the lore
The
and all
setting
that.
and stuff.
but,
Yeah.
I said the world of Westeros. I realised as I was saying it was the world of.
He puts a lot. He puts a lot of work into it,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is cool.
Well, it's what it's like what the first book came out just before we were born.
Yeah.
So it's what 20 years of work.
20 years in the making. But I like stories that have
You know, it only meant
a
to be
lot
a
of
trilogy.
back things that like you don't really know unless you read up on it.
Yeah.
Like sort of say, for example, Lord of the Rings, unless you go through all the
To be honest, I
It's like
find Lord of the Rings background really complicated. When you start thinking about, you're talking about the Valar and like the
It
other.
is really complicated.
It's just like, as soon as you find out that Sauron wasn't even like the big
I
bad,
don't know
it was
anything
more
about Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
at all.
Oh, so. And the fact is, that not all of it's been completed because he's got these. You know, there was one book that was made up from his notes. And I can't really think of that as like a proper novel unless like Tolkien did it himself. It just so happens that he died before he could like properly.
Yeah, he just
get
wrote
it.
down a bunch of notes. It doesn't mean he specifically wanted things to happen that way. He's just been noting things that, well, I could have it like this.
But to
it's
be
just
honest-
not going to be jumbled together.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't finish this Amman. I just couldn't.
I haven't read it.
But in total, I think like it's been a proper slow week for me. I've not done anything. I've not really played any games or read. Not bought any new comics from Comixology this week. Oh, I did watch Fight Club for the first time though.
Fight Club.
And that film,
You
It's
enjoyed that.
awesome.
that's such a good film.
That was awesome.
He's like, I think that is Brad Pitt's best performance like ever, and he's so young in it. Like it's crazy.
I don't understand why. Oh wait, never mind.
What?
What?
You know, like how he gets a haircut in it.
Mhm.
Well, why? I never did get that. Like, I mean, I've watched it twice now, and I still don't get.
Apparently,
why he
I
got a
haven't
haircut.
seen it in a while, but apparently there's Brad Pitt before he actually shows up in it makes like appearances.
Yeah, he does.
Oh no, yeah. There's
he's,
like single frame
yeah,
things. You know
of
how
him
like,
being
yeah,
like
because you know how like his job in it is like putting stuff into films,
Yeah.
like into little bits. There's little bits like before. Before he actually meets Tyler Durden, are we allowed to spoil it? 'Cause it's like a 10-year-old
it's an
film.
old film.
Because that's why I wasn't saying anything
Came
about
out
him
at the
getting a
start
haircut.
of the millennium. So.
Okay, yeah. So like, before he imagines up and meets Tyler Durden, like you see a couple of bits, like little bits, like he just flashes behind people,
Also,
and that's like his subconscious
also
creating
there's an
Tyler.
advert for the hotel Tyler works at, and so he like appears in it as one of the waiters.
Yeah, you pointed that out to
Yeah.
me when we were watching it. You were like, "Yo, wait, that's Brad Pitt."
Yeah. It's a really good film though.
Every time I've seen that bit, I just see the fat guy in the middle.
But I think it's been a pretty slow week for everybody, has it?
I haven't done
I don't
anything
even
new.
remember my past week. Like, it's just I vaguely remember Skyrim and Naruto and like feeling like shit, and that's like, eh. I don't actually know what I did.
The only thing I can finally say is that through sheer effort and a lot of will, I finally completed all of Dishonored, the Brigmore Witches. So that's me done with Dishonored until they make one, which will be about 4 years, I imagine.
The what?
Dishonored.
Oh, Dishonored. I thought you were saying something. I don't know. I would thought you were because it sounded like something another word, and I was like, what?
No.
I thought you were saying Sonored, and I was like, what the hell is?
Yeah,
Sonored?
yeah, the popular series Dishonored, 1 million,
Yeah.
lots of awards.
I was,
yeah.
that's why I was like, what the hell is he on about?
Dishonored.
Dishonored.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sad now. I actually get depressed every time.
But
I
the
play a
countdown
game.
has now started. GTA is out in a matter of how many days?
Oh my god, I cannot wait.
What
It's gonna
date
be
does it
awesome.
come out?
You're asking me.
Isn't that like
I'm not getting it straight away.
15th
it's
or something.
something like a week before my birthday.
Oh yeah, so it's like 14 days to talk about
I
it.
need to pre-order it like now.
Partly, Daniel was saying that the multiplayer is not available
No.
for the first 2
No,
weeks.
not gonna be. Yeah, because they want. That's the thing. They said we want to test the numbers of the service. Like literally everyone who has an Xbox or PlayStation 3 is going to be buying this game. I think you know that.
No,
it's
but
gonna
to be fair, I'm not bothered. Like, as long as the servers work, I get why they're doing it. I don't want it
Yeah,
to be
I
like
don't
a
want it to be
COD
messed up.
situation where you're like getting kicked constantly. And
I guess that's it. You know what? You don't have to go online straight away. Play the game, enjoy
Yeah,
it
yeah.
first before you go online.
Exactly.
There's some of those people that only play online and don't ever play the campaign. Like my brother, like, has a bunch of games, and I would be like, "Have you ever played the campaign?" You'd be like, "No, not even started."
Well, those kind of people, we're talking to you here. Fucking stupid.